Hi guys, welcome back. Another video. Harmony and peace. I want to talk about happiness. And now every day we're busy with work, college, loved ones. You could have family members who are not well. And sometimes we do get wrapped up and get really busy. We do forget ourselves. And it's very important to touch base with ourselves and to make sure that we're making ourselves happy. I know we work every day, we make money, save money, go on holiday, that's fine, but it's about the internal work in yourself on a day-to-day basis, because it's okay to go away, buy expensive clothes, but are you really happy in yourself? Are you happy deep down inside with yourself? It's important to have money because you've got to live, you've got to pay your bills, you've got to do all that stuff. I get that. And money can come and go, but are you happy with the things that you do on a day to day in your life and things that you reflect on individually? And it's important to let go of grudges, things that upset other people or you fall out with people, whatever. As long as you put yourself first, is a priority. That's very important, which I'm not saying to be rude to people. I'm not saying to swear at people. It's just a matter of fact is make that little time out for yourself, knowing that. And it's important to do self-care. It's important to go away. It's important to do the hobbies that you've missed out, because there's sometimes what happens is when we work and to balance for having fun, we don't balance things out. One will take over the other. We work too much and we neglect ourselves. And sometimes it is hard because you might not make the time, and sometimes it'll be, I ain't got time to do all that, and you'll be working constantly. But then also, you got to remember, you could end up, getting sick, not well, or catching flu, or run down, and then next you know, you're off work for a week, you're in bed, make yourself better. So it's important to make sure that you make time to have fun. If it's once a month, every fortnight, every 2 months, you put that in your calendar. Don't say, oh, I'm going to do it. Oh, I'm going to make the effort to do it, and you don't do it. Then another month goes, and another month goes, and another month goes, and then we don't make the time. It's important to do that. You know what? The way I look at it is this: you get one life only. You make the most of your life. Every day goes by, you make sure you fulfill your life, take photos, do everything, videos, the whole lot, because your life is like a book and you've got to make memories. And every memory or every day goes by, you make every moment counts. The moment you get up in the morning, the moment you go to bed. If it's, like I said, hobbies, holidays, going to the gym, going to the spa, and take photos, connect to the people that you care about, which is very vital. And also, there's sometimes I think what we tend to do is I won't say depend on people to go places, but it's good that you make that effort. But there's times your friends could be busy, family could be busy. Just go off on your own, do something, travel on your own or do something for the weekend. Just something to experiment, something different. Then you can say you've done that. But you got to remember, like, this year's coming to the end. And what happens is I like to reflect and go, what have I done this year? What have I done for myself? What have I reflecting on? What things can I look forward to next year? And what more things I want to do? Because every month goes by like this, and it'll just creep behind you like that straight away. Another year will be gone, another year will be gone, another year will be gone. And you got to make every day count. That's the way I see it, as every day count. And journal, be grateful, gratitude. That could be one thing you could put in. Take one day in the week where you just don't do anything and you have a lazy day, watch TV. Because burnout can happen real quick, real fast. And we don't make enough time for ourselves where we can plug out just for one day. And yes, there could be times where you think, I ain't got time to do that. But make time and even have cooking lessons, do anything what makes you happy, but also the internal work in yourself. That means, do I feel whole and complete myself? And these things you can journal. Do I feel whole? Do I feel complete? Do I feel happy myself? And even talk to yourself, your inner child, because that's a part that we neglect. That's a part where we forget. That's a part as we get older, responsibilities kick in, and time will pass us away. We get married, we have kids. I get all that, but also it's just making sure you're staying grounded. You're making sure you connect with yourself, and also to find a way and what could work for you, and to balance the time out, the things what you want to do. Because I am not, I'll be honest, the amount of times I'd work multiple hours on, for the whole month. I come back too tired to do this, too tired to go to the gym, too tired to do anything. And it does creep up. And I start to sit with myself and said, you know what? And I was thinking, should I do this month? Should I do that? I was and ahhing, because I'd think, I don't want to miss that work. Because sometimes you could overwork yourself and do too much hours. And I'm not saying not to work and save. As long as you financially okay with your money and you save the money, what you do the things what you want to see the world or travel. Like, we all can go out whenever we want, and I'm not saying not to do that. But there could be other things that you always think to myself, oh, I want to do that. 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 So it's a matter of making the time to doing it. Like, if you can travel twice for the year, once for the year, you prioritize that and put that to one side. And these things could come along where you think, you know what, I've had a good year. Because when when the year is done and you look back on the year, you're going to start to think to myself, what have I done this year? What have I done this year? And I think when that happens, you have to be accountable for yourself. You have to be accountable, because only you can make that decision for yourself for the whole of this year, from January till December. What are you doing for this year? But you can flip it another way and you could say, oh, you know what, I'll start again next year. And then you could say the same thing the year after. It's about discipline. It's about commitment. It's about prioritizing. It's about setting goals. It's about having boundaries. It's about making that small time for you, what helps you. And another thing what helps you is when you start doing the things what you enjoy the most, and you look at different things what make you happy, and you can connect to other things with your hobbies as well. You can go for walks, go to the park, go swimming, whatever makes you happy. But also, just remember, when you overwork and you do too many hours, stress do, I'd say it does kick in. It does kick in, and you've got to be careful where you don't overwork yourself, but you make time to recharge your body. You make time, if it's 1 hour a day, or once a week, or twice a week, or whatever you can fit in. It'd be great if you could eat twice or 3 times in the week, and you don't neglect yourself. Because when you start to neglect yourself, all the fun things what you want to do, yeah, you can still carry on doing it, but how does your body feel in yourself, internally, your emotions, and also to release. So the things I suggest: 1, go swimming. Helps relaxing, keep yourself fit. Yoga, that's another good thing. And also socializing, that helps. Another one as well, you can do salsa, you could listen, the list can go on, the things I can suggest. And yes, you might think, oh, that's not for me. What happens is we tend to stick to the things what we used to was doing, and we get comfortable. And to be uncomfortable, we don't look at the things that, I might try this, I might try that, I might try this. And what happens is when we start to normalize and we start to get used to the things that we're doing, we don't steer away from that because the brain starts to think, oh, I don't want to do that. It might be boring. But how do you know if you don't try? Because the brain's conditioned to get used to going to the thing that you're normally doing all the time, and you have to think outside the box and look at things differently. Even if you have to go on the internet, even if you have to sit together with your friends or your loved ones, say, let's try this, let's try that. It makes things interesting and it keeps things going and to be adventurous, and it keeps things going to the point where there'll be more stories you can tell, the more things you can tell. So I'll give you an example. I mean, I've done pottery, I've done go-karting, I've gone axe throwing, I went to a yoga retreat. There's just multiple things. So it's just a matter of me adapting. Sorry about my throat. It's about me adapting. It's about me looking at different avenues and different things. Don't get me wrong, the core things that I still normally do when I socialise and, go for meals, but there's other things you can separate. Like there's one thing, is it skydiving or something like that I was looking at some point next year. I will do it. And now there's someone who I know that I'm good friends with. It's like a sister to me, to be fair. She lives in London. So I've said I'm going to do that. And I will do it. And don't say that when you want to do something, you say and you stick to what you're going to do. At least put a deposit down or you put a date down. I'll tell you one thing. What works is you either look at the date, see how much money you can save, what you can afford, and at least put a deposit down, and you stick to that date, and you literally put it in your calendar. Because what we tend to do, we say things we're going to do, and we don't do it. We, one, say it, two, we forget, three, we depend, codependency on someone else to organise it, but at least make a contribution that you go to join or make an effort. I've done it where I said, oh yeah, I'll go, and I keep pulling it off. Then I never did it. But now I just sit there, right, I'll do it because life's too short. Right, what we're waiting for? Christmas. What are we actually waiting for? Christmas. There's multiple things. It's just about being assertive and having boundaries. Journal does help. Vision board does help. Having a big calendar does help. So you can schedule things what you want to do. And putting deposits down. And making sure that you stick to your plan. Making sure that you're consistent when you're doing it. And at least that way you know you've got things planned. I've done it before when I've had a big calendar and I've mapped out each month like this. And I put things down I was going to do. And I booked hotels. Even to a point I went on holiday and I said, I'm going on holiday. I'm making sure I'm going to land there before my birthday. I'm not saying do that specifically, but at least you've made a conscious effort to book something and you don't put things off. And what's the point of putting things off? Because at the end of the day, at least that way, you got to look some forward to go to. And it's something that you can look forward to, doing this, doing that, and doing this. So it's very important to do that. And once you've done it, you'll feel good. But also, it's how you talk to yourself. Because there's another thing that I'm a big believer in. Be careful the words what you say to yourself. Because words are powerful. Because when you start talking negative about yourself, this is where it impacts you. This is where, to the point, you start to feel, are these words real? When you start being negative and you that self-talk, self-doubt, cut all that out. You talk to yourself kind and to other people. We're too quick to say these things to other people because we get angry. But then you've got to pause and reflect on yourself to think, how would that person speak to you and the roles were reversed? So when the roles are reversed and they said that to you, how would it make you feel? But if it comes to the point that you're not liking what that person said, be honest and open to each other, then to, say something and not be honest. But also don't put yourself down. The number one thing I have to say is if something doesn't work out, you say your piece, You talk about it, let it out, write, journal, talk to your friend, scream. I don't care, scream to the cows come home, or out there, to the field, or go walk. I don't care, wherever. Because once you let it out your system, don't let it internally bottle up inside all your emotions, because it stores in your system and you got to release. So that, but when that happens, it's better to do a lot of breath work, a lot of meditating, or talk to a friend, someone who's close to you, knowing that they know you. And once you've had that conversation, at least it's released. Don't let it store in your system. Don't sit there, you've gone to bed, it's on your head the next day. That's when happiness goes from there to there. So make sure you talk to your friends, you journal, meditate, go for a walk, and make sure you plan the life what you want, because I believe happiness starts, and it starts from inside you, internally. And look at the parts of yourself where you feel that you need to work on. And if you're struggling with it, at least speak to your friends, speak to family, and at least that way, step by step, you can look at the things where you can improve. Self-soothing. It can be relaxing, going for a bath, oils, affirmations, podcasts, reading more audio books, going to the gym. You'll feel good in yourself, and you'll feel lifted in yourself as a person. It starts from in yourself. Once you start to feel good in yourself up here, and you speak out in volumes what you want to say, and you take pride in yourself, and this is when the clothes come in, and you feel look good, and self-care, skin, nails, the whole lot. And after that, that's when and you have a close circle of people that that who care for you, and vice versa. The internal work starts from their happiness. It's what you say and talk to yourself, and what you say to yourself on a day to day. And you repeat that to yourself every day, every morning, every night, before you go to work. Because you'll have your up and down days, and you'll feel a bit like, oh, you know what, the whole world's on your head. Pick yourself back up and say these things to yourself. That's very, very important. I believe every moment of that is very important in life, because you can easily bring yourself back down. Depression comes in, anxiety kicks in, and all these things. No, it's a straight no. So these things are very important. Breathing does help. It relaxes the nervous system, and it calms you down straight away. And going for walks, all these little things matter, and you do that on a day-to-day basis, on the evening before you go to bed. I'm doing it right now, the oils and everything else, just to relax. And I'll do it in the morning, not so much the oils, but at least the breathing and the stretching, and just to calm the mind. Because when the brain gets up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Do you scroll your phone like this? Forget that, leave your phone to one side, go downstairs, have breakfast, go out the back garden, breathing for a bit, relax, and just think, I'm grateful for today, and let's have a good day. Thank you again for another video of Harmony Peace. Sorry, I'm just happy. Thank you, and I'm very grateful.